Daniel. Welcome back to part 8 of the News Media app. So in this is going to be a very interesting tutorial. It's going to be much more interesting than the last two parts. So in the last two parts, he basically updated Gradle. Actually, part 7 wasn't too boring, but hopefully this is going to be much more interesting. So in this video, we're going to use list adapter, not recycler view, but we're going to use a list adapter so we can scroll through 20 stories. So right now we're just this one news story, Google releases, Pixel, blah, 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 whatever the news story is, we're going to create a list of this. So by the end of this video, we'll be able to scroll up and down in our app and see tons of news stories. We're going to hard code them for now, but we'll at least be able to scroll through these. With that, let us get started. So I'm in Android Studio. This code, I need to push this code up to GitHub. I'll put a link in the description. Yeah, after this video, I'll push the code up to GitHub and put a link in the YouTube description. So I think there's nothing in Git. Great. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go to our main activity. And if we open up content main here, we just hard coded that. So we need to get rid of that. We don't want that. I'm going to copy. So hopefully, I'm trying to make this, I don't know if this should be an advanced course or a basic course. Sorry, I'm coughing a lot. I've been sick recently. Still making videos though. So I've made other videos on recycler view and stuff. So if you need more basic guidance, check out some of my other tutorials. But I'm going to go into text mode and I'm going to copy all of this stuff. Actually, I'm going to cut it, so save that, get rid of that. I'm going to create a new layout. I'm going to call this layout, I'll call it news item. We'll make this a constraint layout like that. That one. Hit OK. Going to go to text mode and I'm going to paste that in there. Reformat the code, or if you want, you can go to code, reformat, same thing. I just use the keyboard shortcut a lot. And this gives us a lot of errors. So what you need to do is look for the red, click on it, and do Alt-Enter, then do Enter, I think, and that gets rid of all the errors, and it looks good. Open up Preview on the right, and you'll see there's our preview. Okay, we're done with that. Actually, we're not quite done with that, but that's good for now. So now inside of our content main, we're going to use, even though we're using list adapter, which is kind of basically recycler view, but it's a little bit different. I kind of think list adapter is where things are going, but I'm not exactly sure. We'll get to that in a minute, but let's go ahead and do this. Let's do recycler view, and we'll do 0dp, and that's good. It's giving us some errors. We need to constrain it. So right now it's at the top left. We'll do end, we'll do end to end of parent. That puts it over there. Now we'll do start parent. That squeezes it between the left and the right, so now it's in the center, kind of. Now we'll do bottom to bottom of parents, and that puts it at the bottom. Then we'll do top to top of parent, and now we have our list. So it goes to end, so that's start, end, top, bottom. So it fills the entire screen. And we are almost done with this. We only need to give it an ID. So ID, we'll give this an ID of, we'll call this news, we'll call this news feed. Why not? We'll call it news feed. And you can do all this from design mode. You can, drag in a recycler view. You can do all the same stuff. You can select it and set the ID and set the width and the height and blah, 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 but I don't really like it. We'll see. I mean, I just faster in XML. I've been using coding for decades. It just comes naturally to me, but there are many ways to do it. Okay, cool. So we've got that. We've got our news item. This is what's going to be repeating again and again. Oh, one thing. So for the parent constraint layout, let's set it to wrap content. That way it only goes to instead of going from like right there to right there, it goes from right there to the end of the story. So all that blank space right there, that'll be our next story. So one story there, one story right below it. Okay, cool. I think that's all good, and let's go to main activity. Oh, this is messy. Oh well. I haven't seen this in a long time. It's super messy. I don't like it. We'll forget about it for now, and we'll fix it later. Okay, let's do this. Let's come up here. Let's do delete init. We'll call this news. We'll call this news adapter. Oh, we need to create an adapter. So let's do that. Let's go into. We'll create a new package here. So inside of there, we'll do new package, and we'll call this news feed. We'll call this home. Why not? Yeah, we'll call it home. Inside of home, we'll create a new Kotlin class, and we'll call this news feed. We'll call it news feed. Yeah, I'll call it news feed adapter. That's a class. And there we go. We've started our adapter. And let's go back to main activity, and this will be news feed adapter. There it is. Awesome. Okay, let's go down to here, and we have access. So because we have access to activity main, which has access to content main, we have access to this ID here, which we call newsfeed. So we'll do newsfeed.apply. We'll do layout manager equals linear layout manager, this with main activity there. And if this is all kind of confusing, I have lots of videos on my YouTube channel on how to do this. Some is more in depth. This is going to go maybe a little bit more advanced. So if you're curious, just go ahead and check it out. I have lots of videos. Adapter equals news adapter. Oh yeah, we haven't said it yet. Yeah, it's giving us an error, so we'll fix that in just a second. So what we need to do is this adapter needs to extend list adapter. Okay. Let's create a new model. Let's create a new package. We'll call this data. Yeah, we'll call it data. Inside of here, we'll create a new model, and we'll call this, create a new Kotlin class. We'll call this news, make it a class. And this will be our data class. So inside of here, to make it a data class, just put the term data in front of there. And to make it a data class, we do that. And inside of here, we'll set some variables. Maybe each article has, where is it? Yeah, maybe each article has an image and a title and a description and a time. So we'll do this. We'll do title string. We'll do val text string, val image URL string. We'll do date, val timestamp string. We could do that differently for now. So we have our data model. So each news article is going to have a title, some text. It's going to have an image and a timestamp. All of those are strings, so it's actually text. So inside of here, let's do this. Let's do list adapter. We'll do inside of here, the type will be, I think the type is news article, and inside of here we'll do news article view holder. That gives us a ton of errors. And inside of there, we want to pass in our diff util. So let's create a new class. We'll call this class, we'll call it newsfeed diff callback. So there's our new class for the diff. So basically, whenever a new story is added or removed, there'll be a really nice animation to like squeeze and slide it up or slide it in or slide it out or that kind of stuff. This needs to extend diff util dot item callback, and the type of this will be news article. The same thing as right there. I think we need to give it there. So it's still giving us some errors here. So it says red there. So go ahead and click on there and do Alt Enter, Enter, and select both of those and hit Enter. And that gets rid of the error for that at least. So what we need to do is we have a couple of methods here. Are items the same and are contents the same? Let's do this. Let's see. So So return old item dot title. We'll do that for now. Equals new item dot title. So if our title is different there, that means animated in or animated out, slide it up, slide it down, or whatever. And for here, we'll do return. We'll do our items the same, old item, new item. So that kind of does, so our items the same kind of checks the basics, and our contents the same kind of checks, hey, is the title the same? Is the text the same? Is the image the same? Is the timestamp the same? We won't really focus on that right now. We'll do that in a future lesson, but that's good enough for now. So let's pass a new feed diff callback. We'll do that. That should be good. So there we go. Giving us some errors, so I'm going to go ahead and click on there, Alt-Enter, Enter, and we'll do it, why not just inside of there? So we have that. And I think this needs to extend recycler_view.viewHolder. And this takes in a view. We've covered this in previous videos, so if this doesn't make sense, go back and look at other videos. And I think that gets rid of there. Why is it giving us an error? Import. And it's still giving us an error. Did I do something wrong? I'm trying to think here. I think it extends. Let me look at an example. Recycler_view.viewHolder. No type expected. Why is it giving us an error? News article. Let's do Alt-Enter. I must have screwed something up. Let's get rid of list adapter. And let's re-import that. We'll do, I think it's that. No, let's try the widget. There we go. So I just needed to import. So yeah, give us an error. So click on there, do Alt-Enter, and we need, I think it was AndroidX.recyclerview.widget. That's what we need. Okay, cool. So that gets rid of how that puts it on a new line. I'm just reformatting the code. Again, go to Code, Reformat, or use the keyboard shortcut. Okay, cool. So we're getting an error. We're almost done. So Alt-Enter, Enter, select both of those, and we'll implement both of those methods. It's the same thing as typing those out. It's just easier if you have Android Studio do it for you. On bind view holder, we won't worry about right now. For this, what we need to do is do val inflator. We'll call this layout inflator.from parent.context. So that's good. Now we need one more line of code. We'll do return, I think this is view holder. I think we need to return view holder. I think that's what we need. Let me look at an example. I haven't used this a whole lot, but I think we need to return, yeah, so news article view holder, inflator, our variable there. That variable dot inflate, I think. And then here we pass in r.layout dot r.layout.item, our news item. That's this layout right there. We're going to repeat it a ton. And then we do parent false. And we are done with this class. So all this code we just wrote, it's kind of a lot of code, but it's all finished. So let's actually use it now. So go back to main activity. Let's do this. Down here, let's do, we need to create a list of items. So let's do this. Let's do val lists. Let's do this of. We don't need a type there. And inside of here, let's do news article. And we need, what do we need? We need a title. So Google Google Cloud Release security. Cool. Image URL, we'll do, you know, something.jpg. We'll just do example.com/. That should be online somewhere. And then the timestamp we'll do 2020. We'll just do 5 minutes ago. That works for now. Again, not really. Normally we'd want to use like a timestamp like 2020 01 dash, what's the date, 26, blah, blah, blah. But for now, we'll just put in 5 minutes ago because that works for now. So we want a lot of these articles, so let's put a comma between there. And let's just paste that a bunch of times. And on the last one, let's get rid of that comma. We could actually do it a different way. Damn it. We could also use a for. There's a number of ways we could do for I in. I think we can do this, and yeah, let's do it. Let's do it a cleaner way. Let's do val. Sorry about this. Let's backtrack a little bit. Let's do mutable list of. We'll do news article. So we have that, and let's just get rid of all of that. Let's get rid of that. So we're just left with our news article. So I'm going to copy. Oh, we need that. I'm going to copy our news article. I'm going to this 4 right here. That's going to repeat 40 times. So we'll do news items.add. We'll paste it inside of there. So we'll have 40 news items. So there we are. And so we'll do, for now we'll just do, that'll be minutes ago. Yeah, I don't like that, but it'll work for now. We'll do $I just so we have a different title there. So, so the I right there comes from right there. That'll start at 0 and go up to 40. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That gives us news articles. Okay, we're almost done. Let's do this. Let's do adapter dot submit list. Okay, so we have our news article. Then we have a special method on there called submit list, and our news items will be submitted, all 40 of them. So let's run it and watch it crash. I bet something will crash because I'm sure I screwed up, but let's just see. It'll be a miracle if this works. Trust me, it'll be a big miracle if this works. We wrote a lot of code, something could go wrong, and it crashed. Damn it. Let's see what's wrong. I know what's wrong, but let's go to the logcat anyways. I know what it's going to say. We didn't actually set up. Let's go to error. So that's not set up. It's not initialized. So we have, whenever you use late init, you have to actually, you can't just use it, you have to set it up. So let's do news adapter equals news adapter. Yeah. Okay. Miracle. I think this will work. Let's just check it out and see, and it works. Cool. So here's our list of articles. Check this out. And we see Google, Android. Oh, we're not actually using the data yet, but we can scroll through articles. So say we want to read articles. Here they all are. So boom. All with list adapter. We're not really using recycler view. Well, kind of. We're using list adapter. So here's our list. So we're not actually using the data yet. So our data that says Google Cloud Manager releases blah, 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 that's not being used. This video is kind of long, so I might pause it. Yeah. What we need to do is we actually need to go into here and do like holder yeah. Okay, yeah. We'll do it in the next video. So for right now, the reason it works is because we just hard-coded it there. So it's not actually even using our data there, which is kind of annoying. But we have 40 of them, and we're using list adapter. We can scroll through them. Cool, cool, cool. And I'm going to stop it right at 20 minutes. I'll see you in the next video where we'll actually use the correct data. See you soon.